Pat O'Connor, the mayor of Whiteboro, is in here this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So I wanted to chat with you. There's a lot going on right now. The county executive has put out his state of the state. There's a PDF out there that shows some big plans about the potential of a sports complex, a casino, a brewery, a museum. So it'd be a craft beer museum and other things all going in down there at the auditorium area. There are some people that think you should get down to the harbor. Is there room in Whitesboro for this whole thing?
I wish there was.
Yeah. You're landlocked.
I really wish
You're
there
in
was.
a tough position there. So, what are your thoughts? And I know that the sales tax distribution is a key issue for you guys.
Well, I expect the sales tax to come up again. That's inevitable.
Yeah.
But as far as his vision, I think it's great. Anything that we can do to bring jobs here, to bring tourism here. If people want to come here to visit, to enjoy themselves, it potentially could be a place that they like and want to develop a business or relocate to.
The casino. I was speaking to some people over the weekend about what the plan is. What would this casino be like? And they're saying it would be something similar to what has happened over in Chittenango. So it would not be certainly the size of the Turning Stone, but it would be something smaller, combined with maybe some sports facilities there connected to the yacht. Of course, I believe it's already a done deal that the executive suites, those new suites that are being built on the yacht, that starts next month. That construction gets underway next month. That's going to be a huge addition to the auditorium. But I think the thought, who would have? I give him credit for coming up. I mean, I never would have thought of a craft beer museum. But when you give a little thought to this thing, that could be a really cool deal that actually prompts people to make a stop on the thruway.
I agree wholeheartedly. Listen, he has a lot of good ideas. The one question I would ask about the potential casino is that property going to be on the tax roll? And you have to keep in mind, too, that if people are coming there to spend money at the casino, that's a great thing because it's going to bring jobs. Yeah. But that takes away from money that can be spent at the auditorium, local restaurants, things of that nature. So,
the hope would be is you're bringing more people to the table, more people to the party. I guess that would be the philosophy. But I think that we heard on Friday that land would have to go into trust. And if that's the case, it would not be on the tax roll. So I think we kind of expect that to be the case, right?
I agree.
Yeah. And would that be a deal breaker for you?
I don't think it would be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
But with plans of this nature, questions should be asked, and it would be irresponsible to not ask all of those questions. Yeah. But it's also clear that I don't think he's going to step away from looking to restructure the sales tax. I wholeheartedly agree that we can do better across different levels of government. But as a village mayor, I feel as though villages have become the target. I was disappointed how the sales tax proposal rolled out. Yeah. No members of any villages were asked to be part of that committee. So I think when you look at the governor, the county executive, and all levels of government, everybody wants to say that we need to come together and have discussions. But really, all that's going on is the governor dictates down to the county. The county
really
dictates down to the villages. So
yeah, and I believe is it Joni Mahoney that's made the move already to begin moving forward on consolidation. And really, I hate to say you use the word dictating, but that's really what the governor's doing here.
So, again, I'm not opposed to it. We're proud in Whitesboro to share services with the village of Yorkville with trash pickup, the village of Oriskany with police services, and we're proud to share services, frankly, with Oneida County. We have a police officer that goes down to the Child Advocacy Center. It's probably in my mind the best county department that there is that takes care and protects our children at no cost to the county. So we're proud of our partnerships. There's different layers of government, but at the end of the day, when we're talking about a $4 million difference to the county, if you look at the county budget every single year, they grossly outspend their budgeted amount for expenditures. So over the last 8 years since 2008, they have outspent their budgeted expenses of their adopted budget every year by $311 million. Now, that doesn't get talked about, and it gets hidden because they outperform on the revenue side. So
right.
they have surpluses, and that's what you hear about. You hear about the surpluses. If the county stayed within their budgeted expenditures or even came close, none of this would be an issue.
And what line items are we talking about? What's pushing the budget over the top?
I can't, if you go online, it's a 174 page document.
Yeah.
So, you'll hear the county executive talk about the unfunded mandates. That's absolutely true. But those are things that you know in advance that you put in your budget.
Mm-hmm.
So if you blow a budget out of the water, chances are it's from the discretionary spending. So what you need to do is, in my opinion, what I do in Whitesboro is I have discussions quarterly with all the department heads. I don't know if that goes on at the county, but it's the discretionary spending that will put you over.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, when you have those additional revenues and you're doing well on your revenue line, it's easy for your eyes to get big.
Right.
Right. But you have to stay.
I'm enjoying your dance here this morning. I mean, you're coming very gently. You're coming in very gently, but you're throwing a few jabs here.
Well, I'm not throwing jabs. I'm just telling you what the factual numbers are.
Right. Yeah. All right.
You had been part of the effort to consolidate the fire departments, right?
Correct.
And that was turned away by the voters.
It's a very difficult. I mean, when the governor says we're going to mandate and we want the counties to really push consolidation on your municipalities, it is a very tough process to go through, whether you're doing it to a school district or a municipality. It's a challenge.
And I want to ask, has anyone from the state or the county level, I know obviously you've investigated some consolidation shared service efforts as well. Has anyone from the county come and said, all right, we'd like to consolidate, we're looking to, I don't know, whether it's payroll or so, have they identified particular areas where they are, I'll say, encouraging shared services or consolidation? And have you talked to any other neighboring towns, villages about expanding on your shared services?
Well, I can tell you that I have had discussions with county legislators, but no one has come to me from the county level and said, hey, we would like to work with you with X, Y, or Z. So, it gets talked about in speeches, and that's great, but my phone hasn't rang, my email, hasn't had a +1 in the inbox. So, I mean, I've reached out to them. I want the county to succeed. I want County Executive Pacenti to succeed. But, if we're going to do that, we truly do have to stop talking about working together and work together, because the pomp and circumstance of, we all have to work together and then the dictation follows. Frankly, as a village mayor, I'm not going to stand for it for Whitesboro, and the other 16 mayors aren't either.
And you're talking this. You guys are really united. You've formed a group of Oneida County mayors, and you have met. And there are a lot of these mayors that are quite upset. Of course, we've talked to the mayor of Boonville. He's very upset. So, what? How do you take the next step? I mean, the county executive could very well be listening right now. What do you say to Tony Pacenti?
Well, I remain firm in the fact that I want to work with him. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make the county succeed, especially the village of Whitesboro succeed. But, until we sincerely all start working together, put politics aside, I really don't see anything changing. If something gets proposed in November to go on the ballot that's a consolidation of sorts that doesn't include village input and hurts the villages, I will be the biggest advocate to get the vote out to vote that down. People choose to live in villages. They know they're going to pay a small additional tax, but they like the fact that a police officer will be at their house within 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. Do you call it duplication of services? You can call it duplication of services. We have a state police, we have the county sheriff's office, and we have a town police in Whitestown. But people want that additional service, and they're willing to pay for it, which is why they buy houses where they buy houses.
Right.
If the number I heard was $4 million. Somebody said $4 million during the interview. Is that what you get?
No. All of the villages combined receive approximately $4 million and change in sales tax each year.
What do you get, and if you didn't get it, what would be the first thing to go?
We receive, it's a fluid number. There's no set number.
Yeah.
Obviously, it all depends on sales, but on average, we'll receive about $560,000 a year.
If you lost that for the next budget, what would be the first thing you chopped?
You know what? That's a good question. I will tell you this: in the society that we live in, the last lights that I'll shut off in the village will be those of the police department, because if you don't have public safety, you don't have a community.
And that is the threat. I mean, that's really what the governor's indicating, is because that sales tax does not have to be distributed to the villages. So they could choose to not distribute that. That takes $500,000 out of your budget. Do you fear that that's what the county executive is planning, that he has the leverage in his favor?
Well, I don't fear that's what he's planning. I know that's what he's planning, because with the sales tax committee that was put together, the plans that were proposed zeroed out sales tax to villages. There were two plans that were put forth. One zeroed the villages out in a 3-year period. One did it in a 5-year period.
Yeah.
So again, the problem isn't that people should be looking in our backyard. Take care of your own backyard and stop spending out of control. You can go on See Through New York. All of the numbers are there. They're spending out of control.
You're talking about the county.
Yes.
Now, that's a jab.
No,
it's a fact.
no, that's
I
a
know what
fact.
you're going to say. It's a fact. I mean, that wasn't holding. You didn't hold back at all there. And, and right there,
Haymaker.
you're speaking to the county executive right there.
I am speaking to you three fine gentlemen about the facts of what the fiscal issues are with the county. They are spending out of control.
Do you fear that you've exhausted almost all efforts for shared services? I mean, do you fear you're at that point?
No, I don't think we've exhausted all efforts.
There are other places that you think you could.
There's always other places. Conversations have to take place. People have to put the politics aside, the personal differences aside, and stop talking about working together and actually do it.
If we could get Tony Pacini on with you, would you come back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Listen, I want to be clear. I want him to succeed. I want our county to succeed. But again, the facts are very, very clear. If you go on See Through New York and you look at the expenditures of the county compared to their adopted budgets for the last 8 years, they've outspent their budgeted expenses by $311 million. Last year alone, they outspent it by $63 million. But when you outperform on the revenue side, it all gets hidden.
Okay.
Obviously, fire department, you advocated for consolidation, shared services. I don't remember the exact term that was used. Police is another one that comes to mind. Where else could you consolidate, get rid of a layer of government?
Well, I think, it's easy to make progress if you start with smaller things, such as codes. We actually have a shared services agreement with our treasurer. We contract with the town of Whitestown at a lower rate for a far better service than we had. Highway services. It really is endless, but people have to be serious. People have to put their personal differences aside, and only through discussion can you come up with something that everybody benefits. With the governor, pounding down on the counties, and the county pounding down on the villages, nothing's going to change.
All right. Let's see if we can set this up. I appreciate it. We really do. Pat O'Connor, Mayor of Whitesboro. Come right back at WIBX.